Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a truly epic narrative, packed with heroes, ancient evils, and some, frankly, incredibly surprising alliances.
Yeah, absolutely. Our sources for this deep dive come from the world of Tyria, and they focus on this really pivotal period leading up to and right after this cataclysmic event they call the Dragon Rise.
Like Wagon Rise, that's the reawakening of these, enormous elder dragons, right?
Yeah,
World-ending kind of threat.
exactly. And what's truly striking in these accounts is how they paint this picture of a world suddenly grappling with threats on a scale they'd never seen before.
Right.
It forced them to blur the lines, between friend and foe, even between things like magic and, well, machine technology.
Okay, so our mission for you today is basically to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights about this legendary group they call Destiny's Edge.
Right. We're offering you a shortcut, really, to understanding their complex journey.
You'll get clarity on the incredible dynamic of these heroes, from their individual struggles, which were pretty intense, to their collective triumphs, and also the heavy costs they paid along the way. We'll explore their motivations, their unique abilities, and just how this unlikely band of, well, disparate individuals came together to face what seemed like insurmountable odds.
Get ready for some wild revelations and definitely unexpected turns. It's quite a story.
Okay, let's start by grounding ourselves.
Us.
This world, Tyria. What's the backdrop? What's going on historically that sets the stage for Destiny's Edge?
Well, Tyria's history is ancient. I mean, really ancient, stretching back millennia. You've got the arrival of humans and then later the spread of magic across the different races.
Which changed everything, presumably.
Oh, totally. It fundamentally reshaped societies, led to powerful nations like Caithe and Or popping up. But the real defining feature, the thing that ultimately forces our heroes together, is that constant shadow of the Elder Dragon.
Always there, looming.
Yeah, their first stirrings were way back, like around 11,000 BE, maybe earlier with this Giganticus lupicus disappearance thing. But then their full reemergence, the Dragon Rise itself, around the 14th century AE, that plunged the whole world into an existential crisis.
And what does this pervasive ancient threat mean for just ordinary people? I mean, we're talking colossal beings like Primordus, whose minions are literally living lava.
Or Jormag and his ice brood.
Yeah, what's that like day to day?
It means constant vigilance. It means a world basically reshaped by fear and this looming possibility of just total annihilation. Entire civilizations have fallen before these dragons.
Wow.
The sheer scale of the threat forces cooperation, which honestly didn't come naturally to Tyria's diverse races. They had their own conflicts.
Right.
But it's precisely this threat that around 1319 AE starts drawing together the specific individuals who will eventually form Destiny's Edge. It's a testament to just how desperate the need for unified resistance had become.
Okay, so let's meet some of these individuals. Our sources introduce several key figures. First up, Logan Thackeray. He's human, a scout, not exactly a frontline general.
No, not at all. Logan, he's from the human kingdom of Caithe, but he starts out as this really pragmatic scout for merchant caravans. Not Seraph Guard, not Vanguard, something different.
Okay.
And his quick thinking is obvious right away. There's this incident where he uses a brilliant rock slide trap in Blaze Ridge Gap to stop a charging charr warband. Shows ingenuity, right? Not just brute force.
Clever. But what about his abilities? You mentioned unique magic earlier.
Right, this is where it gets really interesting. He can conjure this blue, ethereal energy, like a membrane almost, from his fingertips.
The shield.
More than that, it's not just a simple shield. It can absorb attacks, deflect bullets, but he can also, project it offensively with his hammer.
Huh. Versatile.
Very. It's this defensive power, mainly, that really hints at his future role in the group.
Okay. And then there's his fiery counterpart, Rytlock Brimstone. Their first meeting sounds explosive.
Yeah, explosive is a good word for it. Rytlock's a Blood Legion charr.
Yeah.
That's one of the fiercest, most military-focused charr legions, known for just brutal, direct combat.
So the opposite of Logan.
Completely. Temperamentally, too. Rytlock's brash, he's cynical, a firm believer in just hitting things head-on, and he wields Sahothim.
The flaming sword.
The legendary flaming sword, yeah. Which, get this, used to belong to a human prince from Ascalon named Rurik.
No way. Let's cause some friction.
Oh, definitely. Their initial clash is just visceral. It highlights all that historical animosity between humans and charr. Rytlock thinks humans are soft, cowardly, but even he has to admit Logan's cunning in that first fight.
So tension right from the start.
Yeah.
You can see the prejudices they'll need to overcome.
Absolutely. It's baked in from day one.
Then there's Caithe. She's a sylvari, one of the firstborn. Sylvari are pretty new to Tyria, aren't they?
Relatively, yes. They emerged from the Pale Tree only about a generation before these events, around 1302 AE. And Caithe, she's different. She's lithe, elusive, deeply connected to the natural world.
Like a ranger.
Kind of, but more innate, maybe. Her observational skills are incredible, almost like a form of empathy. She can discern hidden intentions, see the interconnectedness of lives, even in a bustling city.
Wow.
And she's a master of stealth, precise combat. There's a bit where she teaches Logan how to fight these monstrous devourers by hitting their nerve core at the base of the tail.
Specific. Shows she understands creatures differently.
Exactly. She has this unique, almost primal understanding. Calm in danger, sharp insights. She's a distinctive force right away. Even knows devourers like their food cooked by ambient heat.
Okay, fascinating. And our sources also mention Erstagulkan, a Norn warrior.
Yeah,
sculptor.
There. She's formidable. Norn, so naturally tall, powerfully built, fiercely independent. She commands respect, not just from people, but even from her dire wolf companion, Garm. She calls him her alpha.
A wolf companion named Garm, and the sculpting part.
It's fascinating, right? She's not just a warrior. She's a skilled artist, creates these impressive works, like a massive statue of Garm himself.
She's a warrior artist.
And deeply connected to the spirits of the wild. Wolf, bear, snow leopard, raven. They guide her in battle and in her craft. We first see her in these solitary fights against Jormag's ice brood. She's defiant, unwavering, even when facing impossible odds alone.
She sounds intense. Now, she later partners up with an unusual pair.
Yeah.
The Asura, Snaff, and Zojja. What's their deal?
Snaff and Zojja, they bring the brains big time. Snaff is this. Genius Asura golemancer, brimming with almost childlike enthusiasm for his inventions.
Even weird ones.
Especially weird ones, like his shower washer idea. He firmly believes war should be fought with machines, not flesh and blood. Function over form, always.
And Zojja.
Zojja is his apprentice. Equally brilliant, maybe even more so in some ways, but way more pragmatic and often exasperated by Snaff.
I can picture it.
She's constantly correcting him, rolling her eyes probably, but underneath there's this deep respect for his genius, and together they build these enormous combat golems. Big Snaff, Big Zojja.
Catchy names.
And they develop sophisticated tech like double sight for controlling multiple golems remotely, even sand golems later on. They provide this huge intellectual and technological edge.
Okay, so we have these individuals. Logan, Rytlock, Caithe, Snaff, Zojja, Garm. How do they actually become Destiny's Edge? It sounds like Logan, Rytlock, and Caithe had a rocky start. Battle, prison, then an arena.
Yeah, that early part, that crucible in the Lion's Arch Arena, it wasn't just about winning fights for money. It was about forcing these three, who had so much baggage, especially Logan and Rytlock with their racial history,
Right.
forcing them to rely on each other's strengths, their first interactions, full of mistrust, sarcasm. Logan and Rytlock are constantly bickering. Rytlock tries to grab Logan's magic shield. Logan tries to take Sohothin.
Seriously. All trying to fight together.
Oh, yeah. Caithe often ends up being this dry, observant mediator,
Yeah.
just quietly pushing them to see past it all.
So the arena forces their hand.
Exactly. Fighting as Edge of Steel, they have to work together. And they realize, wait a minute. Logan's defense, Rytlock's crazy offense, Caithe's precise, deadly strikes, they're undefeated.
Ah. So they actually start to work.
They become this incredible unit, and it proves a point, maybe even to themselves, that these mixed-race teams aren't just possible, they might be the most effective way to fight. It becomes a practical necessity.
Okay, so this trio, Edge of Steel, gets famous. What does that lead to?
Well, yeah, they become huge celebrities in Lion's Arch, headlining the arena, making a lot of money, attracting attention from really powerful people.
Like who?
Like Queen Jenna of Caithe, who Logan deeply admires, maybe a bit too much, and Captain Magnus, the bloody-handed, the sort of pirate-turned head of the Lion Guard who runs the whole arena show. Their fame sets the stage for something bigger.
Right. And how do and her group, Snaff, Zojja, Garm, connect with them? Didn't they get beaten by a dragon champion earlier?
They did. Group learned the hard way that trying to take on these massive threats solo just doesn't work. So they travel to Lion's Arch specifically looking for powerful warriors to help fight the Elder Dragons.
Looking for Edge of Steel?
Pretty much. And Magnus, the arena master, inadvertently brings them together. Makes this incredibly shrewd bet with Magnus. She can't afford Edge of Steel's fees, so she basically bets Magnus she can beat them in the arena, winning their contract if she does.
Bold move. How'd they pull that off?
With Snaff and Zojja's tech, they secretly bring their massive golems into the arena match. Imagine the crowd's shock. These huge machines fighting alongside They actually defeat the supposedly invincible Edge of Steel.
Wow. Okay, that would get their attention.
Definitely. It forces both groups to recognize the power and potential in the other. The brute force, the magic, the stealth, and the technology all together. That's when Destiny's Edge truly forms.
So Destiny's Edge is finally assembled. 6 heroes plus Garm. What's their first move? Taking on the Elder Dragons directly seems like suicide.
Right, they start smaller, relatively speaking. They go after the Elder Dragons champions. These are powerful lieutenants, still incredibly dangerous.
Okay, like who?
Their first big target was Jormag's champion, this thing called the Dragonspawn. An ice creature, but its real danger was its mind-corrupting abilities.
Mental attacks. Nasty.
Very. But Snaff's genius came through again. He created these Power Stone laurels and armaments, basically psychic protection for the team.
Clever. How did they beat it?
Ingenious tactic. They managed to force the Dragonspawn to consume its own icy minions. It basically overloaded and collapsed in on itself in this huge ice storm.
Brutal. Okay, 1 champion down. Who's next?
Next, they tackled Zaitan's champion, Morgus Lethe. He was an undead Norn sea captain commanding these huge swarms of undead attacking ships near Lion's Arch.
Undead sea captain. Sounds like trouble.
Big trouble. So Snaff and Zojja came up with another wild plan. They converted 2 ships, barks, into what they called undead destroyers.
Undead destroyers. What do they do?
Get this. Trapdoors and internal meat grinders.
You're kidding, meat grinders.
Not kidding. They used these ships to essentially chew through the hordes of lesser undead, clearing a path so the core team could engage Morgus Lethe directly and destroy him.
That is grimly effective. Okay, 2 champions. Is there a third?
There is. Primordius, the fire dragon, had a new champion rising near the Azura city of Radasum. They called it the Destroyer of Life, a big magma creature.
Fire and lava. So, different challenge entirely.
Exactly. And this required Snaff's, well, it turned out to be his final major invention before the end, a thing called the Caldera Plug.
Caldera Plug. Sounds volcanic.
It was. Designed by another Azura, Master Clab, but built by Snaff. The idea was, after they defeated the Destroyer of Life itself, this massive device would essentially freeze the entire lava-late solid containing the residual energy.
And it worked.
It did. They defeated the champion, deployed the plug, and solidified the whole molten landscape. Each victory really showcased their combined strengths, you know? Air's leadership, Rytlock's power, Logan's offense, Caithe's precision, and Snaff and Zojja's incredible tech.
Okay, 3 champions down. They must be feeling pretty confident. Does this lead them to finally go after an Elder Dragon itself?
It does. They've proven they can work together, they can take down the lieutenants. The next logical step, as terrifying as it is Krakatoric, the crystal dragon, whose rise was felt across the world. They head into the Crystal Desert.
The Crystal Desert. Sounds dangerous. And how do you even find an Elder Dragon, let alone plan to fight it? This leads to a surprising ally, right?
It does. This is a critical point in the sources. They find Glint, a powerful, ancient, crystalline dragon herself.
A dragon helping them fight another dragon.
Exactly. And she was once Krakatoric's own champion, but she turned against him millennia ago.
Why? Why would a dragon betray its master like that?
Glint explains it herself. She has this ability to hear the thoughts of other creatures, not just words, but feelings, intentions. And that insight, seeing the raw hunger and destruction of Krakatoric and the Elder Dragons, it compelled her to switch sides, to become a guardian of the world instead.
Wow, that's profound. So she knows Krakatoric is rising.
She does. She warns them his rise is imminent, devastating, and offers to help Destiny's Edge in what seems like an absolutely impossible fight.
Okay, so what is the plan against something described as a mountain or a god? Glint's powerful, but Krakatoric is an Elder Dragon.
Yeah, Glint makes it clear. Swords, arrows, even Logan's magic shield, useless against Krakatoric's hide. Conventional weapons won't work.
So what will?
The key is a specific weapon, a crystal spear carved from one of Krakatoric's own spines that Glint had preserved.
Fighting fire, or crystal with crystal. Who gets to wield it?
Rytlock. Surprisingly, maybe, given his earlier attitude, but he's the strongest physical combatant. He's entrusted with delivering the killing blow with this spear.
Okay, makes sense, but how did they even get close enough?
That's where Snaff comes in with the most daring strategy yet. He plans to literally enter Krakatoric's mind.
Enter the dragon's mind. How is that even possible?
With Ashurn technology, apparently. He describes the dragon's mind as this chaotic storm of just hunger, rage, greed, pure destructive impulse.
Sounds terrifying.
Right. Snaff's plan is to become, in his words, the itch that must be scratched. He'll project feelings of pure bliss, contentment, something totally alien to Kralkatorrik, to draw the dragon's immense attention inward, distracting it from the physical fight.
While Rytlock goes for the kill shot.
Exactly. And while Snaff is doing that, the others, Logan, Caithe, Zojja with her golems, and Garm, have to defend Glint's sanctuary, where this mental projection is happening.
Zojja's involved in the mental part too.
She's crucial. She helps tune Snaff's equipment and the golems to Kralkatorrik's own petrified blood, these glowing green gemstones found in the desert, supposedly making them invisible to the dragon's senses. It's incredibly complex.
Mind-bogglingly complex. Okay, the plan is set. It's risky, but it might just work. And then Logan gets called away.
Yeah.
Just before the biggest fight of their lives.
Yeah, it's just devastating timing. Right before the battle commences, Queen Jenna calls to Logan urgently, pulls him through a mesmeric portal.
To where?
Huh?
What's that?
Oh, to Evanhawk, a human city besieged by ogres and hyenas. And these aren't just normal creatures. They've been warped, empowered by Kralkatorrik's rising magic.
So Kralkatorrik's influence is already spreading.
Massively. And worse for Logan, his own brother, Dylan Thackeray, is there, gravely wounded in the defense.
Oh man, so Logan has to choose between his queen, his brother, and his team fighting an elder dragon.
An impossible choice. He goes. Which leaves Destiny's Edge suddenly without their best defender, the guy with the unique barrier magic, right when they need him most to protect Snaff and the sanctuary.
How does the team react specifically?
Is stern, pragmatic. She has to be. She immediately adapts the plan, reassigns positions to cover the gaps in defending Glint's sanctuary, but you can imagine the tension, the risk just skyrocketed.
Okay, so the fight begins undermanned. Describe the actual confrontation. How does it go down?
It's titanic, just as you'd expect. Glint makes the first move. She bravely flies out to distract Kralkatorrik, using her own body as bait.
Incredibly risky.
Hugely. But she succeeds in placing this device, a dragon blood yoke, onto Kralkatorrik. It's supposed to weaken him significantly, making him vulnerable to Rytlock's spear strike.
Okay, step one complete. What about Snaff?
Snaff, showing unbelievable courage, activates his device and enters Kralkatorrik's mind. And apparently, it works. He embodies that bliss, that contentment, and successfully draws the Elder Dragon's colossal attention inward, away from the physical realm.
Amazing. While the others fight off minions.
Yeah, the remaining heroes, Caithe, Rytlock, Zojja with her golems, Garm, they're locked in this desperate battle at the sanctuary entrances, fighting off wave after wave of crystalline minions, Kralkatorrik's branded creatures, holding the line with everything they've got.
It sounds like maybe they could actually pull it off.
Yeah.
But the sources say it take the tragic turn.
It does, just as things seem poised for success. Disaster strikes. Glint, who took the brunt of Kralkatorrik's initial assault, is fatally wounded. She falls from the sky.
No.
She perishes there in the Crystal Desert, leaving this massive crater as her final resting place. A huge loss.
And Snaff. What happens to Snaff inside the dragon's mind?
Simultaneously, somehow, Kralkatorrik's minions may be drawn by the mental intrusion despite the defenses. They find Snaff's physical body in the sanctuary while his consciousness is still linked to the dragon.
Oh, God.
He's brutally attacked and killed. The sources say his last conscious thought, relayed somehow, was just, "We did it," acknowledging the team's effort even in failure.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And Rytlock, the spear.
Rytlock manages to reach Kralkatorrik, who is downed, weakened by the yoke and Snaff's mental assault. He raises the spear, but just as he's about to strike, the wounded, enraged Elder Dragon thrashes violently. Rytlock is swept away, unable to deliver the killing blow. Kralkatorrik escapes.
Escapes, wounded but alive.
Wounded, yes. Defeated, no. The cost of this partial victory, it's just immense. Glint is dead, Snaff is dead, the dragon is still out there.
So what does this catastrophic confrontation mean for the team? For Destiny's Edge? And for Tyria?
Well, the immediate aftermath is just devastation, loss and dispersal. Snaff is gone. Zojja is left alone to cremate his body within the wreckage of his golem. She carries his legacy, but she's filled with grief and maybe anger.
Understandable.
Glint, their powerful, unexpected ally, is gone. Logan, when he eventually returns from Evanhawk, finds out his brother Dylan died defending the city. More grief.
And Rytlock. He failed to land the killing blow.
Rytlock returns to the Black Citadel, the Charr capital. The sources say he basically forces his way back into rank, brutally dispatching anyone who calls him a traitor or deserter for being with humans or for failing. But he becomes an outcast, haunted by that failure.
What about Caithe and Air?
Caithe takes to wandering alone through the Dragon Brand, the area corrupted by Kralkatorrk's magic. She collects these dragon blood crystals, maybe seeking answers, lamenting that her friends, her found family, have become strangers to each other. Air also feels the weight of it all, the failure, the sacrifice, deeply.
It really sounds like the team just completely fractured, shattered by the losses and the blame, maybe.
That's exactly it. Destiny's Edge, as a cohesive unit, effectively ceases to exist after this. The bonds are broken.
So where do they end up?
Logan stays in Divinity's Reach, dedicating himself to guarding Queen Jenna. He finds a renewed purpose there, but the sources hint he's also privately longing for her, dealing with his grief and maybe guilt.
Rytlock.
Rytlock throws himself back into the Blood Legion, into conflict. Battle seems to be the only place he finds any kind of solace or maybe just distraction.
Caithe, the lone wanderer.
Yep. A lone seeker, desperate for knowledge about the Elder Dragons, perhaps trying to understand Glint's legacy or find another way.
And Zojja.
Zojja carries on Snaff's work, his legacy. She becomes an even more brilliant goalmancer, but she's forever changed by his loss, perhaps hardened, more cynical.
So the battle was a partial victory. Kralkatorrk was wounded, but the cost was the team itself.
Precisely. They wounded an Elder Dragon, which is almost unheard of, but they didn't kill it. And the price was the very unity that made them strong enough to even try.
So despite all the personal tragedies, the team fracturing, what's the bigger picture? What's the lingering implication for Tyria's future? The dragons are still out there.
Oh, absolutely. The Elder Dragons remain the existential threat. Kralkatorrk, though wounded, rises even more powerfully later, creating new crystalline monsters, corrupting vast swaths of land into the Dragon Brand.
So the fight isn't over.
Not even close. But the journey of Destiny's Edge, even in its tragic ending, underscores this immense power of the ancient dragons and the absolute necessity of extraordinary, united effort, even from unlikely allies.
Like Glint.
Like Glint, like humans and charr fighting side by side. While their unity broke, the alliances they forged, however strained they became, they hinted that cooperation across races, despite all the history, might be the only path forward against these ongoing, maybe even escalating threats.
Their story becomes a legend then. A cautionary tale, but also maybe inspirational.
Exactly. A legend of what's possible when disparate forces align, but also a stark reminder of the terrible cost of failure, and maybe even the cost of success.
Wow. We've really taken a deep dive there into the extraordinary and, yeah, often tragic journey of Destiny's Edge. From those disparate beginnings, the bickering and mistrust,
right,
to their legendary battles against dragon champions, and even facing down an elder dragon itself. Their story is just, it's a testament to resilience, those unexpected alliances, and, yeah, the incredibly high price of heroism.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What stands out to you about how these individuals with such fundamentally different backgrounds, different approaches to everything, managed to come together and achieve what they did, even facing those truly overwhelming odds?
Yeah, the synergy they found was incredible, but fragile, obviously.
Right. And then what does their fractured state, that aftermath, mean for Tyria's future? In that ongoing struggle against the Elder Dragons, it really forces us to ask, can unity like that, once it's broken so badly, ever truly be reforged?
Or does Tyria need something new? A different kind of hero, maybe?
Exactly. Or maybe a different kind of unity. It's a persistent question these sources leave us with. Against such monstrous, persistent threats, what does it take?
Definitely food for thought. This deep dive into the edge of destiny really shows that even in these fantastical realms, the power of collaboration and the very real personal cost of trying to achieve great things, it resonates deeply. We hope this has given you a powerful shortcut, a good way to get informed about what is truly a fascinating narrative.
Absolutely. There's so much depth there.
Indeed. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep an eye out for those surprising facts.